People say African men are not romantic. Let's see if he opens the door for me.
Do you know the name of this?
Hibachi?
Shang Shu.
King?
The voltage is normal.
You forgot to do something.
Oh, okay.
King! That's not how it's done!
Babe, the concept is to open the door for you.
That's not how it's done.
But I opened the door.
You're supposed to come to my side and then open it.
Close the door.
King!
What?
That's not how it's done.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's not how it's done.
Send me a YouTube link.
Seriously? That's not how. That was not romantic at all. That was not romantic. You're taking me out. You can't even open my door.
Babe, the taking you out alone is already the romance.
I have to be honest, I'm not surprised, right? Because like African men are the best at courting.
Did she lie though? And I was in high school. I had this friend, his name was Corden, and he was from Burundi, I believe. And when I say I mean super fucking hilarious person, so cool, down to earth, like dope as individual. He was a little bit older than me. I was a freshman, maybe sophomore, and he was older than me by a grade year, I believe, or maybe two. I don't know. He would always ask me like, what do I want to do? We would go out on random ass days. He would come pick me up. That's a 25 fucking minute drive to the county. I didn't have no car. I used to be on the bus. And he would buy me food before we went out and then buy me food after we went to whatever activity we did. Never made me feel pressured. 100% his goal all the time. Are you comfortable? Are you okay? Like, never wanted me to feel pressure, making sure I knew he was my friend first. Like, I was a little ducky-head bitch, so I really didn't know how to appreciate it back then. I mean, I was grateful. But even now, this is science. They court better. They just do.
Ladies, other than African women, if you are considering dating an African man or you haven't dated one before, let me give you a couple of reasons why we are the best. By the way, I'm representing my country of Liberia. Yana, 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 yana. So first thing first, us African men are the most chivalrous. We're polite men that know how to treat our women very well, and we just have a really strong sense of mannerism. Even though women's rights aren't really as progressive in a lot of our countries, we do know how to take care of our women. So you don't got to worry about splitting a bill or him paying for it. Listen, African money don't run out, baby. Reason number two, we're the cream of the crop because of how ambitious we are. So if you date an African man, just know we need to be taken care of. Now I'm fucking with y'all. But what it does show is our testament and our work ethic and our commitment to paving our way to have a better future. Reason number three is because we have a more balanced perspective on life. Poverty and civil wars plagued a lot of countries in Africa. So we definitely understand how precious stability and comfort is. Reason number four is that you get to travel. Africans are all over the place. Chances are your African boo most likely has family in London, Germany, back home in Africa, Dubai. Reason number five is that most African men, not me, know how to cook. Reason being is that a lot of African men needed to survive on their own after they migrated outside their hometown. So we keep ourselves fed, thus the guts, or as we say in Liberia, belle. Reason number six is that African men are neat. Have you seen a Congolese man dress? Hey, it ties into us not taking anything for granted and being resourceful and just being appreciative for everything we have. Now, reason number seven is that your children get exposed to a whole new culture and they get a big fun family. African people love to fuck, so it's a lot of kids, a lot. See, our continent isn't really filled with a lot of high power opportunities for women. So put that in, you start just one floating past their back. No, I'm kidding, but that really just gives them the opportunity and the time and the energy to be able to nurture a lot of babies. The last reason you should get you an African man, a baba, is because of the food. You get to enjoy real fresh meat that is not injected with no hormones. And look, what American girl doesn't love? Cassava leaf. Look, it's simple. If you are in the market for an African man, these are just some of the reasons why. Okay, this is just some.
All right, these are my wife's rules. One, work. Look, I don't mind you working, going out, experiencing stuff. I don't mind, but the money you make is yours. The money I make is ours. Understand that? I don't give a fuck if you think you're independent. I'm the fucking man. I'm supposed to take care of you. You're not supposed to take care of me in that sense. Kids. I want 4 kids maximum. Listen, my grandma has 13 kids. What the fuck? That's a farm, my guy. That's a whole fucking arm. 3 or 4. Khalas. You need to know how to cook. Allah يخليك. I know how to cook, I can teach you. بس يعني I want to taste the food under your beautiful hands. يا حيوانة الحسيتيز. Respect. For all the men out there, you earn respect, it's not given. Meaning, I expect us to respect each other. If you do something khara in public, I correct you in private. And I expect the same exact thing to me. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. Especially in front of the kids. If we argue, we do it in private because it teaches the kids how to respect us too. Capish? Good. I will defend you in public even if you're wrong because you are my wife. But when we get home, بتاكلي خرا أنا بفرجيك. In bed. In bed. I know what you're thinking. It's not like that. I'm just saying, it's not like that. What I meant by that is I like it cold when I sleep. That's literally it. We can warm each other up in different ways. Anyway.
If you're an African woman and you think like this, it's because at the center of most of our culture lies the worship of the male ego. You run around here with your holier than thou attitudes, or some of you even say it out loud, about how you don't go to clubs and you're always out at Sunday school, or you're out at the mosque and you cook and clean for your man, and you're not wearing this and that outfit, and you're not out putting it out on Instagram. All of this to do that and to end up still getting cheated on. It's giving that one auntie at parties who's always asking you when you're getting married, but everyone knows her man is out there hitting on underage girls. If you're out here thinking you're better than the next woman because of a man, oh yeah, shame you. First of all, stop it.
Have you noticed that when an African man is dating an African woman, he wants to act like Prince of Zamunda or the king of Ashanti Kingdom? But when he's dating a white girl, this guy all of a sudden becomes a slave or a servant. You will see an African man go to the grocery shop with an African woman, and you see the African woman carrying all their bags, all because he feels like he paid for them. But when an African man is dating a white girl, this nigga will carry all the bags like we are back in slavery days. But he's still the one paying. On her birthday, he will buy her everything. But he can't even remember the birthday of the African woman.
When I made a video saying that black men are the same around the globe, I got so much backlash. So much backlash. African men suffer from what I like to call the golden boy syndrome. Same thing our black American sisters complain about. The same I'm the prize mentality. And we're hearing that apparently they only remember their kings with us. I want to take this opportunity to speak to my African sisters. Listen to me. It is not your duty, nor is it your job to continue African culture. It is not your job to suffer like your mom and your aunties did. You're not a better woman because you are suffering than the next woman because of a man. You're not a good woman because you don't know how to demand respect and stand up for yourself. All these things that these African men have told us make a good woman was a lie. Let me repeat myself. Anytime you have an African man praising you for being a good woman, it is a sign that you are being taken advantage of. My dear sisters, we're not our moms and we're not our aunties. Let's do better. Let's stop pretending that we don't hear them. Let's stop pretending that we don't see it. Let's stop pretending that it's not happening. I speak a lot about the type of aunties you should listen to and the type of aunties you shouldn't listen to. You should listen to this auntie.
The only time a common African man can rate you a good woman is when he cheats on you and you stay. It's when you suffer with him and you stay. It's when he abuses you and you stay. When his family maltreats you and you stay. The way they rate you is the amount of abuse that you collect as a woman. That is what rates you a good woman. When they are reading your portfolio, they have to tell the world how much you suffered for them, how much they abused you, how many women they slept with, how many women they impregnated, how they gave you STD and you stayed. You are not a good woman. You're a foolish woman. Women, You need to stay woke and stop letting this men abuse you, debase you, and deceive you. Society have been messing with a lot of you, making you look as if suffering is part of love. That's a lie. Especially when the suffering is intentional, because most of the suffering that these men want you to take is an intentional act that they bestow upon you. They intentionally abuse you. They intentionally cheat on you, not once, not twice. Emotionally, verbally, you are dead.
If we don't have the courage to admit that there's something seriously wrong with African marriages, we are going to repeat the same dynamic. This is how generational curse continue, because as Africans, we deal with everything by sweeping it under the rug, especially if it means making the man uncomfortable, and then pretending that nothing happened, that everything is perfect, that that man is perfect. And it comes at the cost of every woman and every child. That's how this curse continues.
Damn, that last clip. Lord have mercy. So today is exciting because I have a Nigerian woman calling me from Germany to spill some tea. She wants to share some things with us about her culture, the men. I have no idea what she's going to tell me. I really don't. So this is exciting. So shout out to everybody so far. Ebony Locks, Naturally Fab, Empress S, Sick of It, Yvette W, Natasha Forever Free. Okay, Ebony Locks, Mind Over Matter, KB, Make It Happen Manny, and many more. Yes, let's look at that clip one more time because people are not used to hearing African women say things like this. Okay, even though I have my video sharing with the women from Africa calling, okay? This spoke to my soul because this happens so much right here in America, globally, to Black women. It's like the global shift is happening. I'm so happy to see it. Where they're not holding in their pain no more and hiding it, what happens to them.
The only time a common African man can rate you a good woman is when he cheats on you and you stay. It's when you suffer with him and you stay. It's when he abuses you and you stay. When his family maltreats you and you stay. The way they rate you is the amount of abuse that you collect as a woman. That is what rates you a good woman. When they are reading your portfolio, they have to tell the world how much you suffered for them, how much they abused you, how many women they slept with, how many women they impregnated, how they gave you STD and you stayed. You are not a good woman. You're a foolish woman. Women, you need to stay woke and stop letting this men abuse you, debase you, and deceive you. Society have been messing with a lot of you, making you look as if suffering is part of love. That's a lie. Especially when the suffering is intentional, because most of the suffering that these men want you to take is an intentional act that they bestow upon you. They intentionally abuse you. They intentionally cheat on you, not once, not twice. Emotionally, verbally, you are dead.
If we don't have the courage.
Okay? And it's so true. So many women globally put up with abuse. Now, I'm not here to say that every Nigerian couple is suffering, that every Nigerian man is abusing the Nigerian woman. Okay? But there's a lot that goes on globally to Black women. And, you know, I'm not against dating an African man. I've went on a date with an African man. They've mostly, been East and North African. Some people will say that's not really African. It's in Africa. Okay. They were so beautiful. There are some beautiful men who are African, yes. But the issue I have is not about if you're cute or not. It's about the culture, how the men treat women, their beliefs. Does it align with mine? You have to remember, just because a man is African doesn't mean anything. They have different customs, different views on women, different laws, lack of laws in Africa to protect you. Honey, it's a lot, just like any other race of man. And if you want to date an African man, you can, but find out where he's from, find out the laws pertaining to women, find out if they believe in FGM over there, find out what's their culture. You know, I've heard the stories of American black women marrying African men and they still make outside babies on them. That's actually a common thing to hear about them making babies with other women. Okay, to African women and women who are not African. But they're not all the same. They're not. I will say that African men, at least in America, have a reputation for working hard. They will work, but that doesn't mean you won't be put through anything. You know, that doesn't mean you won't be put through anything. Um, like I said, I've talked to an Ethiopian. He was so gorgeous, so beautiful, but his hygiene was terrible, so I could not continue to talk to him. As good as he looked. A North African, very attentive, romantic, but that ended up not being a right match. There was a West African guy. He bought me some food. He was very attentive, but he showed up to bring me the food in a purple jacket. I'm like, what straight man wears a purple jacket? I'm sorry, it had the little fur on the hood. I said, oh my God, no. It was a girl jacket. It wasn't a man's jacket. And then he had the nerve to ask me on the phone, who's at your house? And then he said, oh, I guess I can't come over. And he didn't say it sexually, but he said it like he had authority to come to my house. And I didn't even invite you over. And I could feel like, I'm not going to say it's just because he was Nigerian, but I picked up on it where he thought because men might have more authority, which is, I'm not against a man leading, but you don't invite yourself to my house. I didn't invite you. What made you even think you could come over if I told you yes or no? Like, who do you think you are? And for some men, they think that's perfectly normal because maybe in their country, they just got it like that where they make all the decisions. Yeah, but I don't know you. I don't know you. You just can't invite yourself over to my house. I say, oh, I guess I can't come over. Someone's there. You ain't coming over because I did not invite you over. Excuse me? Okay. So it was the purple girl jacket and trying to invite himself over my house without me inviting him. That was the deal breaker. Plus he was like 3 feet shorter than me. So it was just not going to work. But you know, I've heard things. Africa is a huge place. It's a big continent and it is a patriarchy. The African women, but a lot of African women, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm sure the woman I'm interviewing, you got a lot of mammies in Africa. The thing is, they've been brainwashed that way. It's a part of their culture. And you have a lot of them speaking up on TikTok how she said it. You saw the clip. She said it is in the culture to worship the black man ego. It's the same thing. You know, you got Cynthia G. She calls it black male worship. I've said similar things. It's the truth. It's all about the patriarchy, worshiping the man. Your needs come last. I saw the video. I told you about 2 years ago, I saw the video of the African women in the village. She's carrying the shit on her head. I hate to see it. She's doing all the farm work. She's making the meals. She's caring for the babies. And he was just sitting down, laying down. And she rolled her eyes and said, look at him. He ain't doing nothing. I said, oh my God, this is in Africa. I said, these women are breaking their backs. You see them all over the place carrying loads of bread and heavy stuff on their head. And they take it with pride. Like, look at us. We're strong African black women. We carry all this heavy stuff on our head. That's not good for their skull. That's damaging to the skull. Why come they have to go and fetch water just so they can wash up? They have to drag huge buckets of water. I'm like, why aren't the men carrying this water? That's heavy. I'm like, it's so bad. You got to go fetch your own water just so you can wash your private parts. and they haven't set up an infrastructure to give you clean water yet. And I'm not saying this to like sound like mean and stuff, because this clean water is a global issue. But you know, throughout Africa, it's a major problem. But anyway, I hate it. The black woman in Africa, those women go through it. Those are some hard working ass women. Black women in America are some hard working ass women. Black women globally are some hard working ass women. And the black woman globally has not got had a break like she should have. Them African women, yeah, carrying them babies on their back when they have those covers. They have those covers and put them babies on their back, carrying them heavy. I mean, that stuff be heavy up on their skull. You know, there was some African men, it was exposed on a forum that the women do most of the workload, the farm work, not the men. It was African men talking about it. Okay. Welcome, 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 everybody. I have. Okay, let me. Everyone, this is. I will call you Miss Noza. This is Miss Noza, and she is. You are Nigerian.
Nigerian, exactly. Like Edo. My tribe is Edo.
Okay, now I need you to speak up some. I can't hear you.
Yeah, okay, my tribe is Edo. And let me introduce myself. Maybe you have probably seen my comments under my name, Imahia Ikana.
Give me 1 second. I don't know if I'm on speaker. I need you to talk up and don't talk so fast.
Okay. I am Imahia Ikana. Maybe you've always seen me in some comments under the YouTuber, because I cannot really pronounce her name well, so I don't want to say anything wrong. Yeah, I'm living in Germany. I'm a black African living in Germany.
Okay, slow down some and talk much louder.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry again for saying it. Imahia Ikana. Maybe some of people have always seen me on some YouTube comments on our channels, and maybe one of the YouTube channels that's interviewing me now too. I'm 20 years old. I'm a black African.
I'm sorry. The people in the chat can't hear you. I don't know. Turn the volume up. Talk a little louder.
Okay, so
you're too loud, too low. I can't hear you.
I am Imahia Ikana. Some of people might maybe have already seen me on the comments of some videos, and even on some of the comments of the YouTuber that's now interviewing me. And yeah, I'm a black African living in Germany since 20 years. I was born in Germany because I'm 20. So yeah, I just want to talk about some things about African men, because I just don't like the narrative that goes around that African men are better.
People, I can't understand you. You're talking too fast, and the volume. No one in the chat can hear you.
Okay, let me try to higher my volume. I've already higher it, but I don't know why you cannot get in the chat. I've already higher my volume. Yes,
I'm unable to zoom, everyone.
Can someone now hear me?
Now that's better, but talk slower. Now you said that you are from the Edo tribe of Nigeria?
I'm from Edo. And we have different tribes. I'm going to talk about it later on, but let me first of all introduce myself so that people will know. I hope people can hear me. Can people hear me?
It's a little better.
Okay, so I am Imahia Ikara. Maybe some of you people have already seen my comments on a wait, I'm on a calling, please.
Okay. Okay, you were asking something? Hello? Hello? I can't.
It was my mom that was calling me. I'm so sorry. It was my mom that called me for something. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's my mom that called me. So yeah, let me start again. I'm so sorry that we always need to start over again. So,
It's okay. You are from the Edo tribe. Your name is Maria.
okay, so I said I'm living in Germany since 20 years. I was born in Germany. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about African men and African mentality as a whole because I just don't like the narrative that goes around that African men are better, whereas it's not true in any shape or form because they are not better at all. In fact, struggle love originated from Africa. It originated from Africa, struggle love.
Okay, nope, people can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. Do me a favor, hang up and call back in 1 minute.
Okay. Let me
All
call
right.
back.
I'm not sure what's going on, y'all. So you see, we have these beautiful Nigerian women on the screen. You see, they have diversity in Nigeria, the Naija women. Nigerian women are known for their beauty regimens. They're known for their fashion game. When people talk about Africa, there are so many gorgeous black women all throughout Africa, but Nigerians are like the New York City people, in my opinion, of Africa. Whenever you meet an African somewhere, a lot of times they're Nigerian. They are the travelers of Africa. They're not afraid to travel. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Can anyone hear me?
This is much better. Just don't talk as fast because I couldn't understand what you were saying because you were talking a little too fast for me. Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. No, that's one of my biggest problems. I talk too fast. Since I was young, everyone was saying, Imahia, you talk too fast. But okay, someone can hear me.
Okay, you said that in Africa it's a lot of struggle love.
Yeah, struggle love originated from Africa. It really originated because I'm going to spill all the tea for you to know that it really originated from that place because a lot of Black American women think that African men are better. No, the culture in Africa is very toxic to women, especially, sorry for saying, Nigerian culture.
You said that the culture in Nigeria is very toxic to women, and black women in America don't believe that it's good.
Yeah, they don't believe because they don't know. And I always see, especially black people, and so much glamorize Africa, like, oh, Africa is so good. Yeah, of course. Any black person originates from Africa, but there are so many traditions. For example, now, till these days, they still kill albinos. They use their bones for sacrifice. That's what the Bakaku do in the eastern part of Africa. Because I'm from the western part. Nigeria is the western part. And some part of Central Africa. They kill albinos and use their bones for whatever. There are so many documentaries. If anyone doesn't believe me, go and check out albinos in Africa. So many documentaries of what they do to them.
Okay. If people can't understand, I will have to reiterate what you're saying to them. Okay, so you said there are a lot of documentaries exposing how African men treat African women bad.
Not really that much, because it's like they still glamorize it, but if you go to the pages, like African pages, especially African men talk, then some of them who are very honest will tell you, oh, my culture is very toxic to women. They have some traditions. For example, most part of Nigeria, women don't inherit property from their father, even from their mother. In most part of Nigeria, even from where I come from, women don't inherit property.
You said where you come from, women don't what?
They don't inherit property.
They don't get to have property. Okay, so what about divorce?
The reason why they have this tradition, for example, in Igbo land, it's very, anyone who's Igbo, maybe any person in church who is Igbo, there are some parts, for example, my culture, if maybe the father only has daughters, his daughters will inherit property. But as soon as a boy is there, even though there are 3 girls and 1 boy, the boy will inherit everything.
The boy will inherit everything.
Yes, it will in my culture. But if the father only has daughters, the daughters will inherit. But some places like in the Igbo culture, even though the father only has daughters, the daughters don't inherit anything. It's only the male child inherit something. In Igbo culture, like that.
Okay. So in Igbo culture in Nigeria, do you have child marriage?
Child marriage is more common among the northerners. It's more common because I don't want to mind me, I'm not against any religion, but they practice Islam, so it's more common for them to do child marriage in the northern part than in the southern part. That's predominantly Christian.
Okay, so it's more common in the north for child marriage because Islam. Do a lot of the Igbo men in Nigeria do they practice polygamy?
Polygamy is a African culture in general. In the west, you find polygamy. In the north, as with Arabs, in the east, in the south, Central Africa, everybody practices polygamy. It is
Okay, very common for the whole of Africa. Now, do the men provide for every wife, or do the women have to work?
Normally, originally, the men need to be providers. But some men, I've seen it, they take a second wife, third wife, and they are completely broke. It's actually more common than you might think. For example, many rich kings in Nigeria, even my own king, if you go and type in YouTube, the Oba of Benin, he has 5 wives, and they are all being provided for. You have the Obas in Yoruba, and if you look at their queens, they are all provided for.
Okay, they're all provided for. Okay.
Yeah, the queen. Yeah.
So, are most Nigerian women unhappy, or are they happy with their men?
Very, very unhappy.
Very, very unhappy.
Yeah, I think African women, as a large, are the most unhappy our men. Part of the reason is because of our tradition, and another part of the reason is because of how they treat us.
Okay, you said because of because of the traditions and how they treat you. Well, how do they treat you? Are they mean? Are they romantic? What's going on?
They are very mean.
They're very mean.
They can be very
Entitled.
Sexist
And sexist.
Sexist and misogynist. Yeah, misogynistic.
You ever heard of Cola Booth?
No.
Well, she's a Sudanese and Egyptian woman. She said that African men, they don't like to see African women cry, that they tell you to shut up if you start crying. Is that true?
Oh, I cannot even tell. They expect us to be very strong when it comes to, especially to show love. They expect us to be strong, to be this, or that we should not cry. I've never been experienced that, so I cannot believe. Say from my own experience. Maybe other Africans may have experienced it, but for me, I've never experienced it for now.
Okay. Hi, S. Wiseman. So, okay, do Nigerian men do they give affection and romance?
Oh, African men, as a large, are known for not to be romantic.
They're not romantic at large.
Yeah.
Why aren't they romantic?
I think it's the culture. culture, because the culture tells men that you need to always be strong, and I kind of agree that you ought to be strong. But I don't, there are some things I don't agree. They tell them you are always the leader, you are always the head of, you are always the head, and you need to be, so it's not really, Cuba is more forbidden. It's more of a woman thing in Africa. I think it's just global, like that. It's more of a woman thing.
Well, I mean, it's good for a man to be strong, but I feel like when you're with a woman that you love, then why can't you be romantic? I mean, don't you love her? Don't you want to express that love to her?
I don't know. But African men have syphilis are not romantic at all.
That's horrible. Is this why a lot of African women are married to white men? Is this a part of it?
I would say it might be, it could only be 30%. The major reason is struggle love. And I can talk about it more. Struggle love, I said before, is originated from Africa. We African men have told things for a very long time.
Miss Noza, someone in the chat is kind of upset. A woman said in the chat, you cannot speak for all of Africa. You should only speak for Nigerian men, is what she said. Do you feel this way about all of Africa or just Nigerian men?
There are, for example, some traditions that we need to talk about. They only apply in Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Other parts of Africa. The tradition I cannot really talk about other parts because I know more about traditions in Nigeria. But when it comes to the overall, how African men are going to behave, mostly the same. African men are the same in the West, from Africa, in the East, and
okay, so you're saying African men are the same whether it's the East or the West or the North or the South.
There might be some slight difference when it comes to the culture, but when it comes to the mentality, it's basically the same.
Okay, the mentality.
Yeah. But now, I'm an older woman. I'm from the
Oh.
Angola is a southern part. If I ask about their men, as I now talk about West Africa men, to say they are the same. The now part, African man, what they go through and what Nigeria they go through, it's the same. So it's basically almost the same. But when it comes to tradition, it's different.
Oh.
The mentality of our men is basically the same. From our opinion.
So, my God. So they're not romantic, you said. You said that they're mean, entitled.
Yeah.
So
They're entitled.
I've heard, I don't want to say this. I've known women who have been with them in the bedroom and they said they were like robots and that they were terrible in bed. Is this true? I mean, do they believe in pleasing their woman in the bedroom sexually or are they just all about them in the bedroom?
Oh, the funny thing is that a lot of women have an obsession and are not black for African men because they think that all African men have big teeth. So I would say when it comes to the bedroom.
I can't understand what you just said. Can you say it louder and slower?
Yeah. So normally, I kind of find it funny when we say that they're like robots because a lot of women that are not African have an obsession for African men because they think that all African men have big in the pants.
So they think that just because they're African, they're large in the penis size. But just because you have a large penis doesn't mean you know what you're doing. Because like I said, the women I know who've been with them told me that they said, don't make any noise, stop moving, and they just poke them like a robot. I'm not saying this is for all African men. This is just what I've heard. They didn't even want them to make noise. It was like, what? I'm sure this don't apply to every African man, but I would like, I can't say no more what I heard, but okay.
The thing is with the robot click, I would say it doesn't apply to all, unless the ones who are very into tradition a lot. Because I would say when it comes to bed, every African man is different. There are some that are more traditional, they don't so much really please you a woman because in their mind it's all about me. But let's be honest, a lot of men, despite of their grace, their coach account, they think it's all about them. And then you have some that will do anything to please you. So when it comes to that robot claim, I think it's not true.
Okay, so you said they're different. Some think it's all about them and some don't. You know, it was an African man. I showed a clip. He said that African men will not go down on their woman. They won't eat her coochie, but they'll eat the coochie of a white woman. Is this true?
Very true for men, not all. One is an African man. She's from the same tribe, she's from a do-to. We had a conversation. She started to talk about how this whole women's empowerment, blah, 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 stuff is to show them so-called culture that you really would say a man needs to always please me and a man should go down on them. So when I saw how she was thinking, I'm like, okay, I do think that there's definitely a cultural aspect that African men don't really. But again, it is still not completely true because many of these men don't go and cheat with their side chicks and they do it. They will then go down on their side chicks. But on their wives, no. Because again, it is this belief that man is always the leader at the head.
Give me 1 second. Sorry I had to take it there, y'all, but that's what that African man said. And Sovereign says definitely no oral sex. A lot of black men don't. And that's exactly why we leave in you and you are not the best men in the bedroom. Because if you don't do that, you absolutely suck. Okay? Sorry. You know what? Every woman is different, but you don't love your woman if you won't do that. And I'm sure you expect us to do that for you. So return the favor and please your woman. And I mean, not every woman has to have it, but damn, that African man said y'all tell y'all African women no, but yet you'll let the white woman sit on your face, but you telling the African woman I don't do that. Get out of here with that crap. You ain't no good lover. You ain't no fully good lover if you can't do that for me. Please.
Many
girl
have that mentality. It's culture because they believe that a man is at the head and how can I go down on one as a kid? They're like, no, I'm the head. It's like I'm not submitting under a woman. So many of them don't do it. You know, but there are many who still do. Like the younger generation of men, let me say 50% do it. I cannot speak for all, but the 50 works.
Okay.
To keep it like a secret, you know, you need to still act like all we don't do it on a bedroom. So when it comes to they don't do all. It is true because culture mindset, but you cannot be applied to every African man.
And y'all wonder why the white man is taking your black women. Y'all better get on because you ain't no true lover if you don't do that to your woman. I'm sorry to tell you that, but y'all better wake the hell up. Okay, wake up, boo, because don't be asking us to do that for you and you can't return it, please. So, and a woman shouldn't even have to beg you for that. You should want to do that for your woman. You think you too good? Is that what it is? Or please, you ain't no true lover. You ain't holding nothing down in the bedroom. Okay, you ain't the greatest in bed if you don't do that. Okay. I'm sorry, I get emotional talking about this because it's just the audacity. I mean, I might not make you do it, but you know, it's good to know your man would do it for you. He loves you. I mean, Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry I had to take it there on this show, but I wanted her to tell us the truth because that's what that African man said. So, I got a question for you. I saw hold on, I'm showing some pictures. I will let some of you call in after her. I will let you call in after her. Okay. I saw on TikTok I saw some cuties. I was trying to find some things. Tell me what you think about Tanzanian men. The men from Tanzania. Are they no good or are they good?
I don't really have contact with East African men. Although I grew up with like one Kenya boy but I don't really have one. I rarely see East African men, for example, Germany, so I cannot really talk about how their men are. I can really talk about how West African men are because we come with a lot of them. And most of the people in Germany, Africans are West African.
Oh, most of the Africans in Germany are West African. Okay, well, he was kind of cute. Then you got Kenya. Isn't that Kenya East African too?
Yes, is this even the whole of Africa? I don't really like, but it's East Africa. Yeah, it's East Africa. Kenya's East Africa.
Okay, we know Ethiopia is East Africa. So, do any West African girls, do y'all like any of these East African men? Y'all think they cute?
East African men, they're not like a typical West African. West African men are more like taller and more muscular. And East African are more like slimmer when it comes to their body frame, I'm not too much into East Africa, more into West African men. I don't know why Africans are the best.
Okay. Yeah, Kat. I like handsome men. I don't like ugly looking men. I'm sorry. You said you like ugly, handsome men. Okay, this guy from Ghana. What about Ghana men? You think the Ghana men are kind of cute?
Ghana, yeah, I mean, West Africa, West African men are, I think they are, most of them are very handsome. I think they have, not all, but many of them have this particular body type, tall, muscular, beauty. Because another thing is that people think that Africa is monolithic and Africa is not monolithic and safe. West African men are more likely to be tall and muscular. East African, tall and slim. I mean, Ghana men are, yeah, I can't be them. There are some points I'm like, yeah, they look very good. But I kind of think that when it comes to the best looking, it's Nigerian men. I don't know why Nigerian. I don't know why, but I don't think that the best looking compares to West Africa.
And what about now? Some people were saying these people aren't all what they say they are on this TikTok. Would you talk to a South Sudanese man?
The South Sudanese, I don't really have contact because I think that South Sudanese are more like Arabs. I don't really have contact. I really never met some South Sudanese except for seeing YouTube videos about them, but I've really never met them. Never, my lifetime.
Okay. Now look, I talked to an Ethiopian. Okay, that's my weakness when it comes to African men. I mean, like I just showed y'all, a lot of them are attractive from east to west to north to south. But Lord have mercy, them Somalian and Ethiopian men are fine as a bitch. I ain't even gonna lie. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus, have mercy. Lord Jesus. Woo!
Yeah. So try to talk about bad positions because this is something I really want to talk about because a lot of people don't really know about it before you consider West Africa, especially Nigerian man. I want to talk about it. Can I start?
Huh?
Can I start talking about the bad positions?
Can you say that again?
Can I start to talk about the bad traditions? Because
the traditions?
Because a lot of people, yeah, bad traditions. Because a lot of people don't know that they have very, very sexist traditions, especially against women. So yeah, can I start?
Okay, go ahead, tell us.
Yeah, and first of all, they go into the Igbo tribe. They're going to go everywhere. You have the Usu caste system. You can just write Usu caste system Igbo. It is basically a system that, let me say, how it really, what I think, how it really came about. A priest in those days saw a very rich woman and took only one papa. And then they said, she is Usu. That basically means that no man can ever touch her again. And all the children she born, they are all Usu. It basically means that they are children of the God. So no one should have interaction with them. People that are Usu, you don't interact with them. People basically don't talk to them. If I'm lying, even people, I think they have some people in temple. Although many people say that they have stopped that tradition, but I do believe it's still practiced till this day in some of the deep evil villages. That, yeah, it's like a hand, but a very bad hand that affects children and
Okay.
Yeah, this is the fair part tradition. Then we still have another tradition in Igbo land. Let me finish Igbo land, then I'm going to come to my own place about a woman marrying another woman. No, it has nothing to do with homosexuality.
You hold on. You just said that women in your tribe marry other women?
No, it's the Igbo tribe.
In the Igbo tribe, y'all, the women marry women.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with homosexuality.
It's not homosexual.
Basically, yeah, that the woman will marry another woman into her husband's family. And maybe now that woman that she married, different men will start to be sleeping with her. And the children she will give birth will all be in her husband's name. You understand? That the woman she married to her family. So all of the children she gives birth to will all be in her husband's name. This is the tradition of a woman marrying another woman.
Oh my God. So why aren't they seen as homosexual?
Because it has nothing really to do with homosexuality, actually, but in fact, it has nothing to do with it here. In African tradition, it's very important for you to have nature, someone who can continue the legacy. And sometimes, the woman might not give birth to the nature. And again, with that tradition of a woman marrying another woman, a woman will marry a woman to her husband's family, and a woman will start to give birth, and the child being her husband's name. The woman that she married, so that they will have the legacy. But it has really nothing to do with homosexuality.
That's weird to me because two women together are homosexuals. I mean, it's just they are. They're eating each other's coochie. They're gay.
It's not, they don't eat each other coochie. It's just that the woman marries another woman into her husband's family. It's like she just married and different men will be sleeping with her, or one man, and all the children she gives, that man that gives them, that has been married to another family, it is, let me say, the woman that married her is like her madam. You understand? It's not like a madam and how can I say, employee and employer relationship. That's how it is.
Okay, give me one quick second. I will not be shamed by you know who in this chat. Yes, I like how Ethiopian men look. Shit. So what? My dad could pass for one of them type of people. I mean, they're beautiful. I'm tired of it. You don't have to like an African man who has a wide nose and big lips and wide features. They can look good too. I mean, they're beautiful all over Africa. I know the culture and stuff can be fucked up, but I'm not gonna be shamed. Shit, I like Dominican men. They look Dominican and shit. They look good. Why should I? You want me to sit up here and deny that? That this is not the face of a white man. His brown skin, his almond eyes, his curly hair, his full lips. Just because his bone structure is not wide, a wide stereotypical Negroid look don't mean that it's wrong to like them. I'm not gonna be shamed for that. I don't look strongly stereotypical Negroid, which I think black is supposed to look like. But he fine. I'm not gonna deny no fine man. I'm sorry. And a lot of y'all be sleeping on them East African men because you feel, some of y'all out there, you feel ashamed to admit how fine they are because, oh well, his features are not what we feel traditionally is West. There are West Africans who look similar to them. Not all West Africans look the same, but why do we have to deny how fine some of these East African men are when they do look good? This ain't no white man again. Okay, you tried to shame me. I feel like you tried to shame me saying, oh, just say you like European features. So what if I do though? European features are just as beautiful as Negro features. This guy, when I look at him, I do not see the face of a white man. A white man don't got these full lips like this, a brown skin, curly hair, almond-shaped eyes, and this striking jawbone structure. Them motherfuckers is fine. I don't give a fuck if they mix with Arab or not, to be honest with you. I don't give a damn. They look good and they in Africa and they look good. Now, does that mean I would marry them? Yeah, I'm open to it. A lot of them are Christian too. Even though I don't identify with religion currently in my life, even I do believe in some stuff, but I'm a good person. What I will say is that I date all of the rainbow if they're compatible with me. And you ain't gonna never find me sitting up here talking about East African men is ugly. I'm sorry, that ain't gonna happen. Them motherfuckers is fine, and I don't give a damn who don't like it or they think, oh, they don't look African enough. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn again if they are mixed with Arab. I don't give two shits. They fine as a bitch. And that's my final word on it with them. So, go ahead, girl. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go ahead. So then we have before people now, even in, for example, Calabar, the nearby area too, they kill trees. It was a tradition to kill trees because it's believed that it's not normal. And I'm even shocked that it was like 2 days ago I find out that look at the history of Calabar that before Calabar, before 849, before a white man stopped that tradition, then a Calabar man would give them some tree. They would basically kill the tree and burn the man alive. It was a tradition.
Okay. All right. You know what I want to do? We might have to do a part 2. We might have to do a part 2 because then I'll get on Zoom. Hold on, no, StreamYard. When you said the link, because they might be able to hear you better if I do it that way. I won't be able to have these pictures and stuff though if I do StreamYard. Okay, so. Huh? What you say? No, not. I got one more question, and we're gonna have to do a part two on something on StreamYard for this to be better because the audio I can't really hear you that great. I'm gonna ask you a controversial question, being that we talked about the East African men. Are West African men jealous of East African men?
I don't think so. I don't believe that they are jealous. Part of this is because if you think about an African man, you more think about an West African man with the best African features, the bright nose, the white nose, sorry, the full lips, the dark skin, these muscles, this dark body. So I don't think that they are jealous. No, I don't really believe that.
Okay. All right. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Well, I'm not gonna get off here yet. There are other Nigerians who want to call in. I might be able to hear them better, but me and you gonna have to work on a future interview on StreamYard. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. And I have the phone line open. There were 2 Nigerian women who said you wanted to call in. If you don't call in within 3 minutes, okay. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'm waiting for the part 2. I hope you guys will now hear my voice well, because I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
Okay.
I hope it will now be part 2. Okay, so thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, bye. Wow, thank you so much for calling. I'm upset with the issue with I couldn't really always hear. I tried to say what she was saying for y'all to understand. So she said that the Nigerian men are not romantic. They don't go down, please their woman sexually. They're mean. They don't like you to cry. They cheat on you. From her tribe, the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. There are many tribes. You have the Igbos too, the Yoruba. Okay. Yeah, I know I kept this picture up of his cute self. I know y'all probably shocked, like Cerebral got these black African men. Shit, I like beauty. I like good looking men. But you need to be more than cute now. You got to be more than cute. I don't want that plantation mentality. Hello?
Hi, yeah, this is JQ.
Hey JQ, thank you for the donation.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
How are you? So tell me, are you Nigerian?
Yes, I am Nigerian.
Okay, and you live?
Born and raised.
Oh, snap.
Now I'm in Canada.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, are you in your 20s, 30s?
I'm in my 30s.
Okay, born and raised in Nigeria. Are you from Lagos?
Yeah, I was born in Lagos actually. Raised there too.
Okay. Do you know how to
But my
cook
family
jollof?
is from South.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry?
I was going to ask you, do you know how to cook jollof rice?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. So, give us some tea. Also, do you think East African men are fine? Somebody said I'm bigging them up. Yeah, I'm gonna take the time because I don't often hear about them being talked about how fine the ass are. So do you think that East African men is fine?
Yeah, a good number of them are good looking. I actually commented it in the chat saying, why is it okay for black men to like their sisters, but you cannot like their brothers? Right?
Girl, I don't know,
Because they
child.
like the sisters.
Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm.
One of
So,
my exes, he was from Djibouti, so aesthetically they look like Ethiopians. So,
Djibouti?
yeah, the same. Yeah, Djibouti. Yeah, it's like a tiny country. Yeah, in Africa.
You know what?
But
There's
yeah, they look like
this.
Ethiopian people.
I've looked at pictures, and I have to say, there are West Africans and East Africans who have similar features. Like, not everybody in West Africa looks the same. Not everybody in East Africa looks the same. I don't know where we get this warped view of what West Africans look like. Like, they don't all look like what we think. You know, it's always.
What I think happens is, like, Alec Weck, the popular model.
Yes.
So I think when she was put out there as the face of Africa, everyone just ate it up because Africans, we have very diverse features. But because her look was promoted as the African look, it seems that even Africans or black people in the diaspora has taken that as what African people look like, I guess. So I think that's where that comes from. I don't know.
But you know what? It's even the same thing here because if I like an African American man who looks like him, because there are African American men who look like him in parts of this country, then they'll say, oh, well, you don't like the blackest looking of black. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You just go somewhere with this crap. And I don't have to like what I don't like. Shit. I'm not gonna apologize for looking at this beautiful man. Shoot, I don't give a damn if he mixed with Arab or not. Who gives a shit? He's fine as hell. So tell me about yes, El DeBarge is fine as a bitch. And Christopher Williams in his prime, Christopher Williams in his prime was fine as a bitch. I don't give a damn who get mad about it. Chris Brown is fine as a motherfucker. I know y'all hate me to say it. Chris Brown ain't no good for beating Rihanna. But Chris Brown is fine as a motherfucker. Chris Brown is fine as a bitch. But he's too toxic. I couldn't be able to do it. And, rumored to be colorist and stuff, but he fine as a motherfucker. Okay, I can't deny beauty just because I don't like somebody. I mean, I just got to keep it real. So, tell me about Nigerian culture. Is it what she said? Are they mean, not romantic? They don't want to please you? What's going on?
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of things she says. I know that for people, they get offended by it, but, sometimes the truth hurts. So what they do, the men, oftentimes they will love bomb you. So when they're getting to know you, they'll buy you a lot of things, do the usual stuff. But as soon as you get that ring, you become like a furniture, basically, like animated furniture, just to service them whenever they need. Give them children, cook their food, do all these things. They don't put the effort to kind of keep the spark going. Yeah.
So they have a very.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, the African man. When I showed a clip, he said that African men act like they are the king of Zamunda to African women. That you have to praise them and treat them like a king.
Yeah.
But when they date white women, they act like the servant to a white woman. So African men are, she said that they're very entitled.
So, first of all, I have to apologize. I was late to the live stream, so I did not watch the video. I'll watch the playback later. But yes, they are very entitled. It's the culture. Okay, let me put a disclaimer for everyone who is like, don't speak for all of Africa. Okay, not all, not all, not all. Everything I say, not all. Okay. So, yeah, they're very entitled. Even the church teaches them to be entitled as well. That's how they are with everything. They think they are above women, and they just treat you, in many ways, like a second-class citizen.
They treat you like a second-class citizen. What is going on? Why is the culture like this? Where African men, compared to other men, are not doing as well as them. And I heard that the African women work harder than them. So, do you feel like y'all spoil them too much?
Not me, but yes, I do feel that African women definitely spoil them too much, to the point of being so entitled. For example, I was watching this show on YouTube. It was a Nigerian show, I think, or Ghanaian, one of them. And so there was this character, the guy, he doesn't work, okay? He doesn't do anything. The woman works, comes home, cooks, does all these things for him, right? So she got tired and wasn't able to do these things. Do you know this man, he threw a massive tantrum because she wasn't able to cook, even though she was the one working, bringing home, the bacon, as they say. And so I was curious, and I looked through the comment section to just see where everyone's head was at. And everyone was upset with this woman. Like, oh my God, how can you not, basically worship your man? You have a man, he has a penis. What are you doing?
What?
Like, you should be cooking for him, doing this. I don't care what you do. These are real people commenting on this video. And I was like, wow. Because I was like, are you serious?
So, he has a penis.
Like,
Yeah. Does he know how to work that penis? That's the real question. Can you work that penis? You might have a penis, but can you work that penis? Okay. And what else are you doing? Because I need more than the penis.
To be honest.
Jesus. Do you think, is there a movement with African women like waking up to the patriarchy and being slaves? Are they like upset about it, or are they still worshiping them?
I think, compared to when I was a kid, there is definitely a little bit of an awakening going on, but it's not significant enough. It's not a critical mass as you would hope for. So most of them definitely are still very much like, I guess you could say they worship this man. Like, unfortunately, that's the culture, and that hasn't changed. Like, for example, when I was a kid, I remember I was watching the news, right? I was like, I don't know, maybe 7 years old. And so they were talking about this celebrity's wife, and they interviewed her, and she was like proudly going on about how she puts condoms in her husband's car anytime he leaves the house so that he can practice safe sex when he's out and about. And everyone was praising her. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful
What?
wife. Oh, you see, this is the kind of wife that we want. And even as a kid, like, it just basically traumatized me. I was like, oh my God. Even though I didn't understand fully what I was hearing, still there was this feeling of dread that washed over me. Like, what?
Here's the thing. I would tell my man, I'm not going to buy my man condoms. I would just tell him, whatever you do when I'm not with you, use a condom. I don't want you to do it, but you better not bring me home a disease. But damn, I'm not going to go out and buy you the condoms. Like, here you go, honey. So when you go out for lunch and go get some coochie, here goes your condoms. No. And she got praised for this. Hold on, Purple Love. I know these aren't Nigerian men. These are just these handsome Ethiopian men. Ethiopian and Somalian men I had to put up. I had their pictures up earlier. They're just so gorgeous. I just had to keep these pictures up. Now I know some of y'all are probably shocked I'm talking like this. Listen, like I said, I like looking at beautiful men no matter where they're from. That don't mean I'm going to date you now if your culture is messed up and how you treat black women. But that don't mean I ain't going to look at you. Now, this is just some eye candy. Because the Ethiopian man don't get enough love in my opinion. I'm sick of it. These men look good. Shit. Okay. So, all right. Nigeria. So, is it common, as they say, for Nigerian men to make outside babies all over the place with different women?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is pretty common. And people erroneously think it has to do with religion. Because Nigeria is like 50-50 Muslims and Christians. And I know a lot of so-called Christians that have like families all over the place. Okay, like I don't even know how many. And what people don't realize is it's not the religion, it's the culture. These men are allowed to do any and everything. In fact, the last time I was in Nigeria, right, the married men, they did not even bother taking off their rings when they were flirting with me. Okay, that's how bad it is. They don't even tie their rings anymore.
A damn shame. So, did your parents try to get you an arranged marriage? Have they pressured you to get married to a Nigerian man?
They have pressured me to get married, but my parents, they're not, I don't know, I guess in some ways they're not typical because they don't care if I marry a Nigerian or not. They just care about me being happy and him treating me right. That's all they care about. But I know that I have Igbo friends who their parents would disown them if they bring someone that wasn't Igbo home. Like, they would get really mad. But my family, we're not Igbo, first of all, and also just my parents, they don't care about that. Thankfully.
Lord. Okay. So is there anything else, any tea you want to spill? Anything else you want to tell us about the men or the culture?
Well, I don't even know where to start with it. Oh, this is going to sound really messed up. I don't even know if I should say it on here. But to give you an idea how bad it is, there was this Nigerian woman. I'm sorry, I don't know how to censor this. So let me know if I'm saying anything I shouldn't say. So she was in a Nigerian group on Facebook. And apparently she caught her husband doing something with their baby.
Oh, disgusting.
So she went in, she opened the door and then she saw something like that was evidence that he was messing around in a way that he should not be with a baby. And then she goes to this group and she's like freaking out, asking everyone, "Oh my God, what should I do? I just don't
call the damn cops." Do y'all have cops in Nigeria to call?
Well, the cops are corrupt. Okay, that's another story. The cops will actually cooperate with criminals oftentimes who want to rob you and stuff. So, yeah. You can bribe them, everything. It's actually crazy. So this woman was freaking out, like she didn't know what to do. She was asking, what should I do? What should I do? Do you know the kind of advice other Nigerians were giving her? Christian Nigerians. They were telling her, just pray about it. If you want, you can kick him out of the house for a month and then bring him back. And, just pray for deliverance. It's okay.
Hold on.
And I was like, oh my God, you are expecting.
So she finds evidence that he's been hurting the baby sexually, and they told her kick him out for a month and then bring him back.
That was the most extreme suggestion that she got. Most of them didn't even suggest that. They were just like, oh, pray about it, forgive him. Oh, it's okay, we're Christians, we love and forgive. This is an infant. It's a baby. He's already doing that to this baby. And you're basically saying that he should be kept around this child. And like actually when I read that, I just left the group. I was so angry because I was like, are you serious? The most extreme thing I heard was what I said. Like the person told her, You can kick him out if you want for a month, and so you can think about his actions and change, and then you can bring him back and you can still work on it. They were so flippant about it, and I was like, wow. So there you go. If you want to know what the mindset is like for a lot of people, that's how bad it is.
Terrible. Terrible. So listen, I thank you so much, okay, for your call. All right.
Okay. And I wanted to add one thing, because I hear people saying things about how, like, they try to blame Black women in history for doing X, Y, and Z. Just FYI, there are certain places right now in Nigeria I cannot buy a land because I'm a woman. I have to have a husband to buy land in certain places.
So you can't really be independent.
Exactly. So I would like people to dispel of this myth that somehow Black women are responsible for things that Black men were literally at the helm of doing, and they blame us for it to, absolve themselves of responsibility. Today, I cannot buy land in certain places because I'm a woman. I have to be married or have a man with me. That's how bad it is.
Okay. Damn shame. All right. So thank you so much. All right.
Thank you for having me. I was nervous, but hopefully
it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Bye. Listen, Africa better come into the modern damn world. That African man I showed you that clip of in the beginning, he said on TikTok the only reason African women stay in their marriages is because they have nothing else. They don't have anything protecting them, and with the law, if they get beat, they can't get property, they can't get education, and that's what men like to do. She can't go. She can't go. Because she fully depends on him. So if she's very unhappy, he's beating her, he's cheating, she can't leave. He said they're oppressed, and that's why you don't see them leaving. Okay? And yeah, y'all see, let me say this too. Someone in the chat, you said, Cerebral, you don't like Nigerian men. Listen, I have a high attraction to East African men. Y'all know I like Arabic men, so they kind of course, but I will say this. When I have been in New York, the finest African men I have seen were West and East African. I can't just say that one group looks completely better than the other, because I've seen some fine ass African men when I was in New York who I could tell was West African, and some I could tell was East African. The best looking African men I've seen in New York was East and West African. I was downtown and they were selling bags, because they sell handbags, the fake Louis Vuittons and stuff like that. And I had saw the finest African man. I believe he was West African. There was a group of them, and his face stood out the whole group, that I was in shock. I wanted to go up closer just so I could see him close up, because what I saw from far away, I was like, oh shit. I ain't never seen no fucking West African man this fine. And that's no shade to West African men. I'm just not typically as strongly attracted to them. But I could tell he was West African, but his features were still, it was something, the jawbone structure, the eyes, the nose, everything. I was like, oh my God. I was frozen, and I said, I should go up closer. I need a close-up look, because far away, I can't believe what the fuck I'm seeing right here. Then I was at McDonald's in New York, and it was this guy. He was like, he was very dark-skinned, like Alec Weck. He had on a suit, a black and white suit. His haircut was cut. His teeth was white as a bitch. And I found myself attracted too. I said, damn, he looks nice. He looks like a model out of a magazine. And then I was walking, and this guy, I could tell he was East African. When I looked at him, my eyes just locked with him. I was like in shock, like, oh shit. Oh my God, this guy is gorgeous. And I just started smiling. I just started smiling, because I was just like, oh my Jesus. and he handed me the flyer. I think he had some type of show or something he was doing. You know, when they hand out their flyers. He knew I was mesmerized. I couldn't even talk. I just stared at him for a quick second, and I just started smiling. And he started smiling and handed me the flyer. So I won't say I'm biased where, I can't find like, oh, West African men or East African men. I've seen attractive West and East African men, but a lot of East African men are fine as fuck to me. I mean, when I did date an African, they were North African and East African. But I will say that no matter how they look, because I've never once denied that African men, there aren't any attractive African men. There are attractive people globally. But it's the culture, how they treat women. I hear people praising African countries. I'm like, why would I promote a country that if I get beat up by my husband, I don't have any protection under the law? They might want to have sex with my fucking 12-year-old daughter that they say is a woman because she got a menstrual cycle and marry her off to some grown ass man or try to mutilate my damn daughter's vagina. These are real issues throughout Africa on the west and the east side. Okay? And the south and the north. A lot of women in Africa from the west to the east to the south to the north are abused and oppressed. We got to keep it real. Yes, these East African guys up here are some cute eye candy. And we have men, black men, yes, right in America who looks just like them, very close. So I will never feel shamed for liking how they look. But for me, it's more than just about looks. What is your culture like? How do you treat women? What are you about? Is your family racist? Oh yeah, just because they're African don't mean they can't be racist. That tribal shit, like she said, the Igbo tribe, they'll get mad or disgrace you if you don't marry somebody Igbo. I'm not down with that type of stuff. I think people have a right to marry who they want to marry. I don't care if they call it tribalism. I think it's racism. I think it's prejudice. It's discrimination. I know people are going to disagree. But if I can't marry who I want, I can marry who I want. But if somebody's going to tell me I can't marry who I want because they not of our tribe, I ain't trying to hear that crap. I'm gonna love who I want to love. Hello?
Hi, server.
Hello.
Hi, this is Steve Star.
Hey, how are you? Calling from Canada.
Yeah, I'm calling from Canada. Is the volume okay? The sound
Yes.
quality? Because I remember the other lady had trouble.
Yes. Are you Nigerian?
No, I'm actually Cameroonian.
I'm
neighbors to Nigeria.
Okay, from Cameroon. Tell us, what is your country known for? Every country is known for something. Even if it's jollof rice or something. What's Cameroon known for?
I guess it's known for being the only bilingual country. You speak English and French, just like Canada.
Parlez-vous français, monsieur?
And sports, yeah, and sports. We've had a really great soccer team over the years. Roger Mila, Etofis, and stuff like that. So we're known for sports, football.
Okay. Now, when you say football, you mean soccer, right?
Yes, soccer.
Okay. In America, we call it soccer. But, So what's going on with your community? Tell us about the traditions and the men. That woman said the African men are mean to African women and they're not romantic. Is that true for Cameroonian men?
Let me give a disclaimer here, and I wouldn't like to generalize and stuff, but I would speak for Cameroonians, for the Cameroonian men that I have experience with, because I grew up in Cameroon. The tradition is really strong when it comes to Cameroon and the men in general. The tradition is very strong, and the women just go with the tradition. And so when you're a married woman, it's seen as a status symbol, number one. So once you're married, the whole idea of getting a divorce is unheard of. So regardless of what's happening in your marriage, you just kind of stick in there to the end. For example, I was at a graduation ceremony this weekend with the Cameroonian family, very affluent, one very great family, and their 18-year-old daughter was having they were doing a graduation ceremony for her. So I was having conversation with some other 3 married women because I left my own marriage a long time ago. I have a son. So in that conversation, I know one of them is married, and he's actually still on the dating site, but the wife was sitting there mouthing and didn't even know. The other 2 women, one is pregnant and then the other one is not pregnant. All 3 of them, they were saying the same thing. So I asked them, I said, how do you deal with this whole issue of infidelity and all that? And they were like, what they do is mentally they just assume that it's not happening and just move on, like it's no big deal. They don't want to know. Yeah, they don't want to know. They just block it off and that's it. So I asked them, I said, okay, so what if, I understand that there's this lady that came on YouTube who apparently got HIV and she's sensitizing everyone. So I asked them, I said, what about the issue of maybe contracting STDs and all of that? They're like, you just have to pray about it.
What?
Yeah, just pray about it. That's it. Yeah, and then another couple. So I said, I have back trouble, so it's hard for me to be a domesticated woman because I have this health issue. And the other lady, so I can't really be like doing all the house chores because I actually outsource those things in my home. The very reason why I had to leave my marriage and stuff. So I told this lady, and she's like, you don't have back trouble as bad as myself. What are you talking about? I said, no, I can't do these things. And all of them were against me because I was trying to want better for myself in my next marriage. So it's crazy. The thing is, the women, first of all, have accepted it, and the ones that try to leave are ashamed for it. Unfortunately, you don't have the police supporting you because you can't go to them. I'm talking about women that are out here. Going back to the women that are back in Cameroon, it's just very sad because the police would not support them. They have nowhere else to go, and especially if they don't have like money to take care of themselves and stuff.
Let me ask you this. Do men support Cameroonian women getting educated?
Yes. One thing about Cameroon is education. Like, if there's one thing I would say about education in Cameroon, it is huge. But that is with the South, the Christian community. Because we pride ourselves in very good education, good boarding schools. Like, the education is everyone, no matter how poor these women or the men are, they want to send their kids to school. So education is something that's held in high esteem in Cameroon. But that is the Christian South. The northern part of Cameroon, where they're the Muslims and all of that, no, the women are still caught up in that whole Muslim mindset where the girls they're not encouraged to go to school. There's been a little bit of change, but in general, no, they marry them off and that's it.
Now, but they don't want them to be educated when it comes to their sexual health, do they?
Who even talks about like the woman's sexual health and all of that? You just have kids. You just keep having kids with your husband. Some of them try, but the issue of childbearing, for our parents, they had a lot of children, but I've seen that movie in our generation, because I'm in my 30s, like, they don't have a whole lot of kids compared to our parents. So that is actually reducing, but it's not something that's encouraged where people have to they don't put that as a priority. I don't know if you
So, do y'all talk about STDs in your culture? Do y'all know about gonorrhea and chlamydia and herpes? Does that even exist in Cameroon?
Yeah, we talk about it, but the whole point, like I said, the women just pray about it.
Pray about it.
Because there's nothing they can do. There's really nothing they can do. They can't go back to their homes. they don't have where else to go. Some of them can leave and live on their own if they can, but in general, the women just stay and just hope that they don't catch something.
Now, hold
That
on
being
though.
said,
Do y'all have the doctors and the clinics to treat the STDs if they catch them? Can they get cured of them?
yes, if they have the money to go, yes, they do. They do. But that being said, there are also really, really good Cameroonian men and marriages and families, like the one I went to. There are a lot of them who are, like I said, they're really educated. The one thing I would say to for anyone who is not African or Cameroonian or Nigerian and stuff who wants to date an African, you need to, like Cynthia G would say before, the boundaries, standards, and expectations. Those three things, you need to put those in place. And if you have those three things, I think you can find the good ones. The good ones are really good. The one thing I would also say, in contrast to North American, black men, is that the men in Africa, in terms of caring for their children, they're a lot better than the ones out here. Regardless of what they do, at least they try to take care of the children. They're a lot better. But the culture is very strong. So that's one thing that, it's important to look at too. So it cannot be generalized because we're so diverse. We're so, like Cameroon, for example, we have over 200 indigenous languages, different tribes here, pockets of tribes here and there, with different cultures. So, and just from where I'm from, my culture is very different from the culture of the men from the next tribe. So whatever obtains to the men in my tribe is different from the men from the other tribe. So it's really diverse. And the complexion, the look and everything is so diverse. East African, West African, so diverse.
Okay.
I mean, right? So humanity started in Africa, so there are different shades, the very light complexion ones, the dark ones. And these are not people that are light because they they had Caucasian parents and stuff, and they're just that way.
I have a question. Now I have some controversial questions. We know that HIV is a problem in Africa. It seems to be getting better, but it used to be a big problem. Do African women know or believe that there are a lot of down low African men?
They know. 100%. A lot of them have been infected by their partners, and like I said, some of them can flee and stuff, but a lot of them, they really don't have a place to go. And if they go back to their parents' home, that's fine. But at the end of the day, they're aware of it. But I don't know what to say. They just don't leave. They don't leave. And another thing with the men, it's like domestic violence is something that I advocate. I talk about a lot. Like I cannot stand it. I don't believe that by the time it gets physical, it must have started with emotional abuse. And when you speak to the men in some of our forums and tell them about if you don't want, like they don't expect you to call the police if you're out here. They will be angry if you call the cops. And I'm like, no.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry to cut you off. The chat is moving. Jasmine Nicole in the chat says, I've never heard of DL men in Africa. Come on now. Of course there are a lot of down low African men. How do you think so many women ended up with AIDS? Where did these men get it from? There are gay men all over the US, Europe, so why would Africa be off limits? As an African woman, do you believe that there is a high amount of gay and bisexual African men who cover it up?
They do exist. It's not prevalent in the society. Compared to out here, no. It's not as prevalent in Africa as it is out here in the West. And even the pockets of gay men or bisexuals that do exist, they're not allowed. Like, it's not something that's accepted in Africa. All the presidents have said it's not our problem. We have bigger problems to worry about. So they might exist, but it's
covered up.
Out in the open. It's covered up. So we can't really say for sure. But it's not an African thing, and it's not accepted in Africa because not just the president, but the society has said no.
Yeah, but just because it's not accepted don't mean it don't exist, though.
Yeah.
They just gotta be quiet about it. Like, don't ask, don't tell.
Yes.
But I always knew, I said, there's no way 45 million African women died of AIDS and the men wasn't sleeping with men. No. So.
I think, no, it's the spread came from, not really from the homosexuality and stuff, because it's not really prevalent. It's from heterosexual relationships. That's where the spread is from, because because of the promiscuity, because of some of the women that engage in prostitution, or they don't engage in safe sex practices. A lot of the times the husbands will give it to their wives and stuff. But when it comes to homosexuality, I would say this. I'm very emphatic about it. It's not an African thing, and it might change down the road, but it's really not. So the spread is really from promiscuity between heterosexual relationships.
I'm not going to say that you can't get it through heterosexual sex, but science has said that most of it is man to man. It's hard for a woman to give it to a man. It's easier for a man to give it to a woman. And I'm not going to say that some of them don't get it from women, but science has proven that it's mostly men getting it from men. So, because of the anal sex. So, but okay. So, have your parents tried to marry you off to a Nigerian man?
No. My parents are they're educated, and they're very. My dad is more traditional, but my mom she's very she's very progressive in her thinking around these things. All she asks for is somebody who is healthy and who loves her children and who is able to take care of them. So the men are very traditional, but I think that's changing because they see what's been happening to their daughters and some of their sons, and so they're forced to change because they don't like what some of them have gone through. So they're now being forced to change, but historically they would prefer not only Cameroonians but from the same tribe.
Let me ask you this. You live in Canada, right?
Right.
Can you tell who's an African man, like when you're walking down the street or you're like near restaurants or something? Can you spot out who's Nigerian? Can you tell?
Who's Nigerian?
Yes.
No, you can't. You can't. Looking at them, you can't tell who a Nigerian is from a Cameroonian or from an African American. You can tell. But sometimes the complexion, you can tell who an African is from the complexion because of the sun. That's the only reason you can. And then maybe like the style, the swag, and all those things. You can also tell that some of the people from out here, they dress up in a certain way. But in general, it's hard to tell. But when they start speaking, then it's easier for you to be able to tell where some of them come from.
I'm going to ask you a crazy question.
Sure.
Do y'all have a secret society? Do y'all have, as Africans from Nigeria to Cameroon to Sudan, all of that, do y'all have a secret society? Like y'all get together in secret.
No, secret society as in like those traditional, those occultics and all of that? Is that what you're referring to?
No, like y'all get together, in secret. Not necessarily in secret, but y'all like have gatherings where only Africans come to, and y'all socialize with each other and start trying to date each other and stuff like that. Like y'all might get together on a certain day at a church or a building where it's a bunch of y'all, Africans, and y'all come together to talk about what's going on and y'all community and then start dating and stuff.
Yes, we're communal people. Africans are communal people. We believe in community. And so we have events like the one I attended this weekend is the graduation ceremony of a family. So when I went over there were so many Cameroonian families that went over there with their children to support that young girl who was graduating and going to college. And we do these things not just because we want our little children to see what the expectation is of them. Now that's that's just an individual. There are other associations here, like I belong to an association from my tribe or a group of people from the area, the province that I come from. So we have an association here that we meet very often, and sometimes we have parties, we have traditional dances within the city of Canada, and we go do performances out in the city, like maybe Canada Day celebration, which is like 4th of July in America. We would go do performances, traditional dances over there we have that sense of community, and we come together because this is the only way we can come together and remember our home, because obviously we miss home a lot. But when we come together, it gives us that sense of community, and that's how we support each other. If somebody has like a baby shower or delivery or a marriage or something, we come together for those kinds of events. And even if there's no event, we have regular meetings where we come together. We have things like Solidarity Fund, where people will just put in money. Somebody is bereaved or needs some sort of support with something. But there's certain criteria. We will put in some money just to support them. So yeah, we do have a lot of those communities, but it's not secret societies, because when it's termed a secret society, it's perceived to be something else, like something occultic. But these are just like social gatherings that we come together with people from different tribes and villages, and they will just form this and come together. It's just to promote like the community spirit and socialize, like you said. Yeah, so we do have a lot of them, a lot.
Okay. I have another controversial question.
Okay.
Did any of your family members tell you not to date an African American man?
Yes, we are told that a lot.
Okay.
We're told that a lot. Yes, we're told that a lot. And this gets a little bit dicey because I watch your channel a lot, Virgo. I watch a lot of the other content creators. I watch G. I watch like a lot of the other ladies, and I see what's happening in the African American communities, and I see the war that's going on between the sexes, and even the war that's going on between Africans and African Americans and all of that. So there is that issue where we are told not to date them for X, Y, and Z reasons. Am I okay with that? No, I wouldn't like to be stereotyped like that. But I do see the reality of what's really happening on the ground, how, the women and the men are fighting, and it's a shame because when that keeps happening, we all lose. How about we just put it down and just come together?
Well, the women are we're responding to the bullcrap. Black women are always worshiping black men, just like parts in Africa. The black men don't want to get married. They don't want to be the providers. They don't want to take care of their kids. They don't want to be romantic. They want to be cheap. They think it's simping, open doors. So we're not gonna put up with that crap.
And I'm 100% with you. Ladies shouldn't, not anywhere. Like women shouldn't. Like we black people have this common issue of black male worshiping, and the issue with here is that the men need to hold the men accountable. It is the same thing in Africa where you cannot get an African man to hold another African man accountable. So that's another point I didn't talk about. And I asked one very successful Cameroonian man here. His daughter graduated, going to college. He owns a Tesla, owns a nice home. And I asked him, why can you guys not just hold the men accountable? And they just can't. It's like a bro code.
Yeah, because they probably do the same thing to their woman.
Yeah. Very successful man. I mean, come on, talk about the same person trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I put him in his place. I'm like, come on. Like, come on, you're doing well, and I'm trying to learn from you, and you bringing this to me, like, come on. You're one of the well-respected ones. How on earth can you be saying this to me? So it's everywhere. The black male worshiping culture is everywhere. It's not just an American thing. And I'm really happy to see the standards that the women are putting up standards, because the women have been the mule of the black community for so long, not just here. I cannot put up with it. And when I see other women doing it, I'm like, that's fine. This whole thing of fighting back and forth, women should just keep doing what's best for them, marry who does the best job for them. And, unfortunately, I would prefer to marry a black person, but at the end of the day, I've seen who they are. It's not just, even the ones that are nice, they have that pathology. It grew up in that environment. It's difficult to get it out of them. They still have it. It's a lot easier when you're with someone who is socialized differently. It's a lot easier because I don't expect you, like the other one said, they got that, like they love bomb you, and then once you're in there, it's something else. I can't stay. If you present one thing, you have to maintain that, and if you don't live up to it, I just cannot stay. But that's the unfortunate thing with us. But there are other cultures who are committed and they love you till you're 65, and they die loving their women. It's okay to go to people who treat us better.
So, would you recommend African American women to date and marry African men? Now, I've heard many say they are no different, but as an African woman, would you?
Recommend an African American woman to date an African man?
Yes.
Absolutely. There are great African men out there. I'm not even kidding you. If you meet a good one, you will be spoiled. You will be well taken care of. But you just need to make sure it's the good one. And they would also love you because you come with the culture, from the American culture. But if you come in there and you're a good woman, then you will be treated like a queen. But the problem is when some of them come in with that, I am better than you because I'm from North America and you're African. No, nobody's going to like that kind of person. But if the woman comes in there in all humility, feminine and nice, and the guy is a good one, you would have the best experience ever. There is you would have the best experience you can ever imagine. But you have to vet and find the good one.
You don't think that the fact is that we're more free in America? You know, the way that African women are oppressed, we as American women are used to more freedom. We're used to being able to express our opinion more. I'm not talking about trying to argue with a man, but we know our rights. At least, we have more rights in America. Do you think that would be a problem for and like I said, it was an African guy who was trying to talk to me and said, "Who's at your house?" And someone was at my house, and he said, "Oh, I guess I can't come over." And I'm thinking, well, I didn't invite you. So,
No, yeah, you can definitely, like, if it's a good one, definitely, that wouldn't be an issue. And don't think that because you're standing up for yourself and setting those boundaries and all of that is going to be shunned and considered misconstrued. No. If you actually are with them, you have to set those boundaries. The other ones that are in great relationships with these men, it works because they set these boundaries. So you have to set the boundary, but I'm sure you know the difference between respectfully setting these boundaries versus demeaning and degrading the man in the course of doing that.
Okay.
So I think that there's a difference there. But no, for sure, you definitely, personally, I feel safer out here. I feel more protected out here. Even though I love my home, I miss it so much, but as a woman, I feel safer out here. Because even if something happens, a woman is raped or something happens to that woman, there is no accountability. There is no place where the woman can go. Like, she's actually, I don't know, she's blamed sometimes she's blamed for being raped. They would say she didn't dress up properly. There was a conversation in this forum that came up regarding this area of rape. And this is what the men were saying. I'm talking about educated doctors and lawyers and really educated men saying these things. Like, it was more about, it was a very long article. Rather than call the men out on their actions and saying, if you guys rape, there are consequences, they were attacking the women and saying the women provoke the men because of the way they're dressed. This is a lawyer who lives here in Canada saying that. So,
Okay.
going back to your question, you definitely need to stand up for yourself in a respectful way, regardless of if it's an African or North American.
I have one more controversial question. We keep it real up over here. Now, you said that y'all are told not to date African American men. How do African women that you know, how do they feel about African American women?
Can I speak for myself first?
Yes.
I respect African American women. Not, the ones that are not doing what they're supposed to do. I'm not talking about those. I respect African American women because they have been working so hard, driving all this movement, making all this change. You ladies have done a great job in advancing the cause of women, and we African women, we benefit from that because a lot of the things you guys talk about, a lot of the change that you guys drive, I respect you a lot, Serba, for what you do because it's not something that I can really, I don't know, I can only call in, but you ladies are doing a great job, and we respect you for that. Now, I know there are pockets of Africans that go around mouthing and saying all kinds of stuff. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So I just want to tell you, in general, we do have a lot of respect for the women because your history is a very painful one. And there is that issue of, we're being blamed for what happened and everything. I feel that I always approach that from a place of love. And I say, yes, I know that this is what had happened, but we're here now. We have each other now. Let's move forward. Let's try to work together and just kind of, hold each other's hands because honestly, I wasn't there and you weren't there. So we didn't go through these things. So let's just forgive our ancestors for what they did wrong to all of us and move forward. But we don't go around having a bunch of hate for African American women. We really don't. And the ones that try to hate on African American women, we will call them out because that is completely wrong. And women just need to work together. We are stronger when we do that.
Yes. Thank you, JQ, for the donation. She says, my brother's wife is a dark-skinned African-American woman, vet all men. Thank you so much. And you have been so wonderful. I thank you for calling.
You're welcome. I watch your show a lot, so
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Y'all, they calling from Canada, Germany. Yes. So we have learned some things, and I want you to watch this video if you haven't seen it from the beginning, but also my epic video as well. When the women directly from Africa was calling in. I might put that in the comment section later on. Okay? So listen. The first woman I spoke to, Miss Noza, for the interview, we were having some issues with the audio. And I might have to talk to her on StreamYard in the future. It might not be next week, but it'll be in the near future. Do a part 2. Okay? And she's in Germany. But I was able to explain some of what she was saying. Thank you, Mind Over Matter. And I had 2 more calls from a Nigerian woman and a Cameroonian woman. So I'm going to show the TikTok again. Okay, different opinions on these TikToks, and we'll have to continue this conversation again.
People say African men are not romantic. Let's see if he opens the door for me.
Do you know what the name of it is?
Hibachi?
Shang Shu.
King?
The voltage is normal.
You forgot to do something.
Oh, okay.
King! That's not how it's done!
Baby,
Babe, the concept is to open the door for you.
That's not how it's done.
But I opened the door.
You're supposed to come to my side and then open it.
Close the door.
King!
What?
That's not how it's done.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's not how it's done.
Send me a YouTube link.
Seriously? That's not how. That was not romantic at all. That was not romantic. You're taking me out. You can't even open my door.
Babe, the taking you out alone is already the romance.
I have to be honest, I'm not surprised, right? Because like African men are the best at courting.
Did she lie though? And I was in high school. I had this friend, his name was Corden, and he was from Burundi, I believe. And when I say I mean super fucking hilarious person, so cool, down to earth, like dope as individual. He was a little bit older than me. I was a freshman, maybe sophomore, and he was older than me by a grade year, I believe, or maybe 2. I don't know. He would always ask me like, what do I want to do? We would go out on random ass days. He would come pick me up. That's a 25 fucking minute drive to the county. I didn't have no car. I used to be on the bus. And he would buy me food before we went out, and then buy me food after we went to whatever activity we did. Never made me feel pressured. 100% his goal all the time. Are you comfortable? Are you okay? Like, never wanted me to feel pressure, making sure I knew he was my friend first. Like, I was a little duckhead bitch, so I really didn't know how to appreciate it back then. I mean, I was grateful, but even now, this is science. They court better. They just do.
Ladies, other than African women, if you are considering dating an African man or you haven't dated one before, let me give you a couple of reasons why we are the best. By the way, I'm representing my country of Liberia. Yana. So first thing first, us African men are the most chivalrous. We're polite men that know how to treat our women very well, and we just have a really strong sense of mannerism. Even though women's rights aren't really as progressive in a lot of our countries, we do know how to take care of our women. So you don't got to worry about splitting a bill or him paying for it. Listen, African money don't run out, baby. Reason number 2, we're the cream of the crop because of how ambitious we are. So if you date an African man, just know we need to be taken care of. Now I'm fucking with y'all. But what it does show is our testament and our work ethic and our commitment to paving our way to have a better future. Reason number 3 is we have a more balanced perspective on life. Poverty and civil wars plagued a lot of countries in Africa. So we definitely understand how precious stability and comfort is. Reason number 4 is that you get to travel. In London, Germany, back home in Africa, Dubai. Reason number 5 is that most African men know how. Reason being is that a lot of African men needed to survive on their own after they migrated outside their hometown. So we keep ourselves fed, thus the guts, or as we say in Liberia, belle. Reason number 6 is that African men are neat. Have you seen a Congolese man dress? Hey, it ties into us not taking anything for granted and being resourceful and just being appreciative for everything. Now, reason number 7 is that the children get exposed to a whole new culture and they get a big fun family. African people love to fuck. It's a lot of kids. A lot. See, our continent isn't really filled with so put that in, you start just one floating past their back. No, I'm kidding, but that really just gives them the opportunity and the time and the energy to be able to. The last reason you should get you an African man, a baba, is because of the food. You get to enjoy real fresh meat that is not injected with no hormones. And look, what American girl doesn't love? Cassava leaf.
Why is it freezing up? I'm
it's simple.
not sure.
If you are, these are just some of the reasons why. Okay, this is just some. All
right, these are my wife's rules. 1, work. Look, I don't mind you working, going out, experiencing stuff. I don't mind, but the money you make is yours. The money I make is ours. Understand that? I don't give a fuck if you think you're independent. I'm the fucking man. I'm supposed to take care of you. You're not supposed to. I want 4 kids maximum. Listen, my grandma is 13 kids. What the fuck? That's a farm, my guy. That's a whole fucking arm. 3 or 4, خلاص. You need to know how to cook. Allah يخليك. I know how to cook, I can teach you. بس يعني I want to taste the food under your beautiful hands. يا حيوانة الحسيتيز. Respect for all the men out there. You earn respect, it's not given. Meaning, I expect us to respect each other. If you do something khara in public, I correct you in private. And I expect the same exact thing to me. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. Especially in front of the kids. If we argue, we do it in private because it teaches the kids how to respect us too. Capish? Good. I will defend you in public even if you're wrong because you are my wife. But when we get home, in bed. in bed. I know what you're thinking. It's not like that. I'm just saying, it's not like that. What I meant by that is I like it cold when I sleep. That's literally it. We can warm each other up in different ways. Anyway.
If you're an African woman and you think like this, it's because at the center of most of our culture lies the worship of the male ego. You run around here with your holier than thou attitudes, or some of you even say it out loud, about how you don't go to clubs and you're always out at Sunday school, or you're out at the mosque and you cook and clean for your man, and you're not wearing this and that outfit, and you're not out putting it out on Instagram. All of this to do that and to end up still getting cheated on. It's giving that one auntie at parties who's always asking you when you're getting married, but everyone knows her man is out there hitting on underage girls. If you're out here thinking you're better than the next woman because of a man, oh yeah, shame you. First of all, stop it.
Have you noticed that when an African man is dating an African woman, he wants to act like Prince of Zamunda or the king of Ashanti Kingdom? But when he's dating a white girl, this guy all of a sudden becomes a slave or a servant. You will see an African man go to the grocery shop with an African woman, and you see the African woman carrying all their bags, all because he feels like he paid for them. But when an African man is dating a white girl, this nigga will carry all the bags like we are back in slavery days. But he's still the one paying. On her birthday, he will buy her everything. But he can't even remember the birthday of the African woman.
When I made a video saying that black men are the same around the globe, I got so much backlash. African men suffer from what I like to call the golden boy syndrome. Same thing our black American sisters complain about. The same I'm the prize mentality. And we're hearing that apparently they only remember their kings with us. I want to take this opportunity to speak to my African sisters. Listen to me. It is not your duty, nor is it your job to continue African culture. It is not your job to suffer like your mom and your aunties did. You're not a better woman because you are suffering than the next woman because of a man. You're not a good woman because you don't know how to demand respect and stand up for yourself. All these things that these African men have told us make a good woman was a lie. Let me repeat myself. Anytime you have an African man praising you for being a good woman, it is a sign that you are being taken advantage of. My dear sisters, we're not our moms and we're not our aunties. Let's do better. Let's stop pretending that we don't hear them. Let's stop pretending that we don't see it. Let's stop pretending that it's not happening. I speak a lot about the type of aunties you should listen to and the type of aunties you shouldn't listen to. You should listen to this auntie.
The only time a common African man can rate you a good woman is when he cheats on you and you stay. It's when you suffer with him and you stay. It's when he abuses you and you stay. When his family maltreats you and you stay. The way they rate you is the amount of abuse that you collect as a woman. That is what rates you a good woman. When they are reading your portfolio, they have to tell the world how much you suffered for them, how much they abused you, how many women they slept with, how many women they impregnated, how they gave you STD and you stayed. You are not a good woman. You're a foolish woman. Women, you need to stay woke and stop letting this men abuse you, debase you, and deceive you. Society have been messing with a lot of you, making you look as if suffering is part of love. That's a lie. Especially when the suffering is intentional. Because most of the suffering that these men want you to take is an intentional act that they bestow upon you. They intentionally abuse you. They intentionally cheat on you. Not once, not twice. Emotionally, verbally, you are dead.
If we don't have the courage to admit that there's something seriously wrong in African marriages, we are going to repeat the same dynamic. This is how generational curses continue, because as Africans, we deal with everything by sweeping it under the rug, especially if it means making the man uncomfortable, and then pretending that nothing happened, that everything is perfect, that man is perfect. And it comes at the cost of every woman and every child. That's how this curse continues.
Okay? That video is just so powerful to me. Okay? And as you can see, I just wanted to show again the diversity. You get diversity all over Africa, as you can see. Okay? You get diversity. And I'm sure, everyone has different taste of what they like. Some of you might think some of these men look good. Some of them are okay. Some of them are fine as I don't know what. But black women are done going only solely for looks and stuff. It's about, do your values align with mine? How do you view women? How do you treat women? Do you oppress women? Do you protect women? Do you honor women? Do you satisfy your woman in the bedroom? And so much more. Okay? And black women globally are speaking up. You won't believe some of what I've been seeing on TikTok. Like I said, I would like to interview some of the people I see on TikTok. Seriously. I've seen something that I won't even say, I'll just say I'm going to do a topic about it, because the things that I saw women writing was shocking. Like, it was heartbreakingly shocking. What I will say, okay, it pertains to when women get sick, men leaving, when the wife gets sick. The things the women were saying happened to them. I said, oh my God, I got to hear more from you, and so much more regarding that topic. So, listen, Purple Love, you said that you wanted to call in. The phone line is open. Come on, Purple Love. You said you wanted to spill some tea. Real quick, I was going to, close everything up, but you want to call in? And one thing I can say about American black men, African American black men, what makes African American people so unique, in my opinion, is that I have seen African American people who look like all these people from Africa. And the thing is that you got a lot of people who are tribal, where they only sleep with their own people, and they all look this kind of similar. It's not like that with African American people. We have the different looks throughout our whole fucking family. I got relatives that look Blasian, okay, Puerto Rican, African, the stereotypical African, all that other stuff. You get that here in America. I have seen black American men who look like all of these men. And they could be within the same family, because you got different shit going on. So it's pretty amazing, isn't it? I got my food cooking downstairs, y'all. I have some smoked turkey neck bones with some lima beans cooking in the crock pot. I said I want some beans and rice. So, Purple Love, are you going to call in? Because I got the phone line open for you. Yeah, Angie, I know that we look different because of the mixture of slavery. But the one thing also is that, yeah, we are mixed with European and Native American, but indigenous or whatever. But the African groups also mix together with different African groups. That also contributes to the different looks, because we weren't just one group only sleeping with each other. Like if you go to East Africa, they kind of look similar because they've been only sleeping with each other. They even have sex with their cousins. That's normal in parts of Africa and the Middle East. Whereas in America, all different type of Africans was mixing together, then mixing with Europeans and indigenous people. That's why there's so much diversity. But I have seen, give me 1 second, but I have seen every black person who has a similar look to all these people, whether they're from the East, the West, the North, the South. And that's what I think makes black people in America and in the Caribbean very unique, as to where we just don't have one look amongst the family. Okay, so but we know why. I'm not ignorant as to why of that as well. Okay. Shout out to my Caribbeans. I'm also Caribbean. Okay, so Purple Love. What's up? How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Purple Love.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Have you been enjoying this?
Yes, I have. I have been enjoying it.
Okay, so what would you like to share with everyone today?
Okay, so Cerebral, this advice is specifically for African American women who are pro-black. They have to be very, very careful with their pro-blackness. I mean, if you're pro-black, that's great, but you have to hide it. You have to hide your pro-blackness, especially around African men. You have to hide your pro-blackness, because the reason I'm saying this is they could use that pro-blackness to take advantage of you, because you're thinking black, and they might be thinking, oh, I can take advantage of this girl. So let me tell you a story. My mom, she went to the hospital because of my stepdad. He was sick, and so he had to go to the hospital. And she was talking to this lady. She was African American, and she's married to Nigerian. So this African American lady told my mom, because she's African, so my mom is African. She's from Ghana. So she told my mom that she is married to this Nigerian guy, and she sends money back home, which is a no-no. She sends money to his family back home, which is a big no. If he's sending money, that's great, but she can't send money with him back home, because she's not even taking care of her American parents in America. So why should she take care of his husband's parents? And that's monthly, but it's not like it's once and then that's it. It's monthly. And I don't remember exactly the amount of money was, but when they send money back home, it's not small money. It's not small money. Okay? So, for the pro-black women out there who want to hold the pro-blackness on their sleeve, on their head, on their neck, hide it, because somebody can take advantage of you. And number two, for the ones who want to marry African men or African guys, stick with African guys in your country. Don't marry African guys who just came in the country. Only marry the ones that are born in the country. So if you're in Canada, marry African men who are born in Canada or in America or in Germany. Do not marry African men that just came from a different country, from Africa. Because you don't know if he wants you for something else or if he generally wants to be with you. And number two, the reason why is because he most likely has his parents in the country, whatever country it is in Europe, if he was born there. But if he's not born there, and his family, his parents are probably back home, and you never know, they might try to find him a wife over there, or maybe it might be a little shady. It wouldn't sit too well with me, honestly. Or maybe he might have to send money back home. Okay? With things that are going on now, financially, it's kind of hard. I mean, I'm not against people taking care of the parents, but if that's not your culture, I can see why it's not your culture. I can see why, but I'm not doing it back. I'm just saying, if you want an African man, get the ones that are born in that country, in whatever European country that you are in. If you want one,
more Americanized.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Cerebral. Because the thing is, I feel like they are selectively Americanized. You know what I mean? They could be selected, and the reason I'm saying they could be selected is because they would treat you differently if you're like an African girl or a black girl, because black girls are so pro-black, you know? And there are black girls that are male identified, so you're kind of no different from an African girl. So the way they're raised home is always going to have an upper hand compared to what kind of upbringing they get in society. The only time it will change is if they're married to a white girl. This is honesty, I'm telling you. If he's married to a white girl, he's gonna go according to culture.
So he's up the white girl's booty.
Excuse me?
So he's worshiping the white girl. Like
I guess I don't know if I don't know if I would say worship, but he will bend over for that white girl. You know what I mean? Like the way he bent over for the black man, he will bend over for the white girl. I mean, I don't know if you don't watch this show is called Nigerian. If you watch that show, you see this guy. He's I think he's from Cameroon. He's African, and the way him and his wife now, his behavior, the way they're showing themselves on TV, I don't think he will go down like that in an African household. And he has a friend. I think his friend is called Temperature. He's the one that's like laying down what really goes on in the African household. And the white wife is not having it. And which is normal because she was raised here. She was raised in America. She's a white woman. So the only time they will bend is if they're married to a white woman. If you're a black woman or if you're an African woman, you might forget it. Or maybe African Americans, maybe they might make them bend a little, depending on how the African American woman is. But if she's a manny, then yeah, you probably get you're maybe as equal as maybe an African woman. So
do you think there are African scammers who target desperate African American women?
I have never. Normally, when it comes to scamming people, I see white women getting scammed. That's like on the internet, but I have never really seen African men scamming African American women. Well, God, I remember there was this show, One Night with Fiance. I don't know exactly if she was being scammed though. She was an African American woman, and she was with this guy who was, I think he was African. They never met. So, well, according to the show. But that's the only time I've seen something shady when it involves an African American woman. And she was an older woman too. She had kids and everything. So yeah, that's the only time I've seen something shady. But I've never really seen them like scam like that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Purple Love.
Yep.
So you are Nigerian.
No, I'm Ghanaian.
Oh, you're from Ghana.
Yeah. My parents are from Ghana, but I was originally born in Italy. But yeah, I'm Ghanaian. Yeah.
I have a question for you because this was on TikTok.
Anyway, I saw the video, Cerebral. He is very right.
Okay, not him. Somebody said that I believe it was Ghanaian men, they said that they'll leave their girlfriend or wife who's given birth to go hang out with their homeboys. Like they care more about their male friends than their woman. Is that true?
Honestly, Cerebral, the thing is, I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't be surprised because our culture is not favorable of the woman. let's just say. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Because our culture, I mean, a lot of cultures, but I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about my culture, the African culture. It's not, there's a lot of things that are not favorable to women. I mean, the closest thing favorable to you is probably marriage. That's maybe the closest thing favorable to you. The word marriage, not like the actual marriage. You know what I mean?
This is a damn shame. This is a shame.
Yeah.
This is a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of the things in our culture is not favorable to women. It's not. That's why I feel skeptical getting married to one, because I know our culture so well.
Do you think that? Do you think more African women are gonna start speaking up, or are they scared? You know, they might get beat up or something.
I think African women probably, maybe in the States, might speak up, not the aunties, because that auntie was really great. She was really great back in Nigeria. I think she was Nigerian. The lady that was talking about how if pretty much if you're new, then they rate you as a good wife or whatever. I think she might be the only African auntie that has come out and say something like, honestly. But I don't think
A shame.
it's like they're brainwashed.
So
maybe the younger generation can say something.
Are African women, are they afraid of being alone? Is this what this problem is? They're afraid of being alone.
I think so. I think they're also afraid of being alone because, the thing is, marriage is like a status. I mean, there was recently a Nigerian woman who she died, and I think she was, I don't know if she was a preacher. I don't know what she was.
Yeah, her husband beat her to death.
Yeah, her husband beat her. But see, Cerebral, that was not the first time her husband beat her, though. He's been beating her. And she's been staying because she thinks that he's going to change. And these are not teenagers. They're not in their 20s. They're adults. She could probably be my mother. And she still has that mentality. So I don't think they're gonna speak up because they're so ingrained. See, and it's so dangerous to people because they're gonna extend that mentality to their children. If they die with that mentality, that would be great, but they're not. They're going to extend that to the children, which is going to continue because obviously that's why it's still here. You know? So that's the dangerous thing. But yeah, they're afraid of being lonely, and marriage is like a status. Marriage is a status.
I think, that's globally. We all want to be married, but I want to be respected. I feel like if I'm going to be miserable and be mistreated, I might as well just be by my damn self. I'm not staying in no miserable marriage.
That's true, but they don't think like that. Just say the word marriage and that's it. Just say the word marriage to an African woman and that's it.
The only way I could see myself staying in a miserable marriage is temporarily would be for my children. Like I want to give them a home, but if they see abuse in the house and if they see him mistreating you, they think that's how women should be treated. Your sons start thinking it's okay to talk to women like that because that's how mommy gets talked to, you know?
Yeah.
Or they might start taking after the father, and that's very dangerous. But I don't know. I think that's the only reason I would probably stay until my kids get themselves together. Then I'll leave his ass. But
Nah, sis, I think you should leave still because that's gonna mess up your mental health. Because he's beating you, Cerebral.
Yeah, I don't want to be beat. You know, I just can't. I grew up seeing abuse. I can't. I don't want to be married to someone who treats me like shit. Like, no, absolutely not. I don't know how women do it. It has to be hard. It has to be.
That's because they don't want to be alone, Cerebral. They don't want to be alone. Marriage is like a status to them, maybe. They don't want to be alone. That it's like it's either your self-respect, your life, or death? Which one? Which one is it?
You know what? And this is why a lot of men don't want women to get educated, because then she can leave and get a job, you know?
I don't even know about that, because you have educated women who would stay in marriages like that because just to say I'm married, just to be called Mrs. This, just to have the MRS in front of their name. So terrible. I personally feel like you have to have self-love. You have to really love yourself. You have to really have respect for yourself and really have a reality mindset, because if not, no amount of education will allow you to even have that mentality to leave, because it's a mental thing. You know what I mean? It's a mental thing. Because this woman, the Nigerian woman, she wasn't broke. And I think, and I don't know how true it is, but I think she was even the breadwinner.
Oh my God. I heard he kicked her in the stomach or something. Like he kicked her in the stomach.
I have to ask my mom. I have to double check. But if she tells me that she wasn't, I will leave a comment on your video. But I think she was the breadwinner. And look what happened. She thought she was waiting for him to change. How does an abuser change? That's like waiting for a serial killer to stop killing. He is beating you. I don't know. I love my body too much to get hit. I've been hit before in school, because I went to school in Ghana, and it happens when you're late. You get hit with a cane. So I'm not new to that kind of having pain attached to your body. So I don't know how this woman even deal with it. And it's a man beating, not even a woman, a man. Men are stronger than us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are you gonna live in a casket, or are you gonna leave alive? Because sometimes they might even kill you when you leave, let alone you staying.
So many of men are killing us nowadays when we leave them. It's insane. They can't take it. They're scared that they're they want our resources, and once we leave, they gotta fend for themselves, and they can't take the rejection. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. I have a whole video I'm gonna redo about how to escape an abusive man, because most of the time you can't tell him when you're gonna leave him. Don't ever tell a man you leaving him. You just gotta go.
You can't. And you don't tell your family members, because some family members might be shady.
Yes. Yes.
Don't even keep friends. Sometimes that's shady. Might be shady. Just do on your own.
Yes. So look, thank you, Purple Love, for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you for
All
picking
right.
up my phone call.
You are the last caller. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, y'all. So the calls have been wonderful. Purple Love is Ghanaian and gave us some tea. I'm pretty sure I'll have more of these type of videos in the very near future. Okay? So, I thank you all who have joined me. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and hold on. Let me see if I can still pull it up. Let's see. Am I able to see my super chats? Once this chat moves, I'm unable to, but I thank you again, everybody, for the donation. And one of you said you're so happy that we get to express ourselves over here. Sometimes I have to hold back. Like, I do try to think about what I say. Like, I don't want to say anything too graphic or too unclassy, like what I said earlier about the African men. Do they please their women in a certain way? I couldn't hold back on that, because I've heard this, and then that African man said it too. And to me, it's like, you can't be considered the best men in the world sexually, and you don't do that. I'm sorry. Like, you ain't fully pleasing your woman. And then he said, but they'll do it for a white woman. I'm like, that's heartbreaking and disgusting that you wouldn't do that for your woman, but you'll do it for the white woman, or you want it done to you, but you don't do it to your woman. Like, you're not a good lover. I'm sorry. Now, not everybody's into that. Not everybody's into that, men or women. But it's just the point that they just lie or just say no. Like you can't be a good lover and you don't satisfy your woman, her needs and desires. Because a woman that loves you wants to satisfy your needs too. So, all right. I thank you all for joining me. Make sure you watch it from the beginning. Had some great calls. Part 2 will be in the future on StreamYard because of the audio issue again. So, but I do have other videos I will be doing before that interview. So, part 2. So, I thank you all, and you have a good, I guess it's still the afternoon. Have a good afternoon. Thank you, Jasmine, Nicole, and everybody in the chat. Bye, y'all.